So I quickly want to go over my binds, my view model settings, and crosshair settings. Everything I use will be linked down below, including this map, Movement Hub, and other maps that will help you create your own view model and settings, as well as how to download the config that I'm currently using. But for video settings, I use my main monitor, of course. I used the Samsung G4, I think, full screen, widescreen, 16:10, 1440 by 900, 164 Hz with Gamma 4 or 33 brightness. I think it's just what looks the best and works the best. If I go, for example, Gamma 2, it looks way too bright for my liking, and even Gamma 4, I feel is just way. Using Gamma 0 feels like I'm up at heaven. Literally. So I use Gamma 4, and I just want to quickly point out, these settings are probably not for the best competitive advantage. It's just what I think is the nicest and looks the best. So, of course, I play with stretch, as I said, since my usual is 3440 by 1440. So, my advanced video. Boost player contrast is disabled. VSync is disabled. G-Sync I have not set up, and I have it disabled, of course. Reflex low latency I have enabled, but not plus boost. I have a decent setup. I use a 30. I have a decent PC setup. I use a 3060. So I use it enabled, but if you have something higher, like a 4060 maybe, I'm not too into PCs. You use enable plus boost. If you have a weaker PC, use disabled. I used enabled since I'm kind of in the middle. I don't have a shitty PC, but I don't have a really good PC, or pretty good. I use 2x MSAA with global shadow quality medium, since I feel it takes kind of toll on my performance. I want to use high or very high, since some spots, for example on Ancient, you can see people on their shadows because there's a lot of lights. For example, in Cave, you can see them walk out before they do because of the lamp. Dynamic shadows I have all, and model and texture details I use high. I like texture detail on high because I think it makes the player models look way better, but at the same time not taking too big of a toll on my PC, what I've noticed. I may be wrong on this, and don't take everything I say for granted. I use 16x, which is the highest, because I think it looks the best. Simply, I want to have good looking games, so y'all can see good looking clips. Shader detail I use low, and particle detail I use low. Particle, I find it kind of with Molotovs. I at least feel like it's a little bit easier to see through. Ambient occlusion is disabled, and high dynamic range is quality, and I use disabled and highest quality on Fidelity FX. I said that wrong, 100%. Main menu volume is 0, round start 0, round action 0. Round end I use 40, and MVP I use 40. Because sometimes a lot of people say turn MVP music all the way down, but I want to be able to hear fucking flash bang ba bang ba bang bang ba bang ba dance for the 38th time in a game. Bomb and hostage volume I use 20. This is because I want to be able to hear which bomb site the bomb is planted on, because you can actually hear that by the beep. There's a different beep for B and A, but I also want to be able to hear people walking. Same with 10-second volume. Now, game. I use 0.9 HUD scale. Large radar map zoom, it's 0.7, and I have a toggle bind for that, which makes the radar closer in or closer out. So it's between 0.7 and 1. Now, to my actual game settings. Some of these will be in the config that I will go over in a couple of minutes. Mouse sensitivity, I use 0.87, and zoom sensitivity is 0.7, because when I'm zoomed in, I'm often just holding an angle or just quick scoping, so I don't really need that high sense. These are WAS and D, but I don't have it binded here. I have it binded in a config. Walk is left control, duck is shift, so crouch is shift, and I use jump on space and with down and up. Use, I use E for that. Haha, use E. Shit was funny. Inspect weapon on Z, and switch view model left to right. I use F because I really like to be able to just switch hands while I'm b hopping. So for example, if I'm hitting some b hops, I like to just see the pickup animation. If I'm b hopping, have fun. If I'm b hopping, I like to just be able to see the pickup animation. I find it really clean. And also, for example, if I'm standing here peeking, bam, use left. Primary weapon is mouse 5, so it's the mouse button, the closest to the monitor. Psycho grenades, I don't have a mind for that because I have every single grenade binded except for decoy. Fuck decoys. And HE or high explosive is on 1. Flashbang I use on Alt and smoke on V. And Molotov, I use Q. Okay, let's go over to the view model settings. I have resetted my view model so I can show you what I do. This is the Crashz view model generator. So for X, which is basically from left to right, I use furthest to the right. It's designed for right hand, so I'm gonna use that for now. Backward or forward, I think forward just looks really weird, and backwards also just looks really weird. Down and up, I always use it down. I want to have it as far off from my screen so it doesn't cover it at all. And then view model FOV, I use 68. I find it the most clean. Crosshair, I used the Crashz crosshair generator. So what I did, I went here and I took a lead preset, which looks something like this, and then I put the length to 2 and the thickness to 0.5. Still use -8 gap, and I use no outline, no dot, or no T-shape. I use red color as well, which I find easiest and cleanest. Follow recoil off. I hate follow recoil on. I think it's so stupid. A lot of people say it's goated, but I do not agree with that. Dynamic gap is off. Friendly fire warning off. I hate that because it's really fun shooting your teammates in the head. HUD color, I just use T and CT side. Sniper crosshair thickness, I use 2. If I give myself an op, if I use 4, the lines will be really thick. You see if I compare it to these. And I think it's kind of distracting, and I do not like it. If I go for 1, which I find way too small, and sometimes I miss. So I find 2 to be the perfect in between. Now for my autoexec or my CFG, I like mine to just be instantly named or instantly exec. So I use M wheel down and up for jump, which is named J. And I use mouse 4 for long jumps, which is the one furthest away from the monitor, and mouse 3 for jump bugs, which is clicking in the middle mouse button. Space as well, I use as jump, and shift to duck. The config that I'm currently using is called the Ruby Rain config, which for me I find working the best, and I do not really feel I feel kind of a difference between the newer ones and this, but those have broken on me many fucking games, which sucks ass, let me tell you. When it stops working, when you're playing, you should just go to the lobby or like exit the match, re-exec it, and then go back in. That doesn't work, just reset your game. And I'll leave a link to the Ruby Rain config down below and an install guide on how to get it. So yeah, those are my settings. If y'all have any more questions, just leave them down below. Just a quick head up. On March 24, I will start a new series, hopefully, which is where I play Schedule 1. I will start recording on March 24, and I'll keep it as a series to upload multiple episodes until we, I think, complete the game, or maybe even further. It will release early February sometime, and it will be with my friend. But until then, have a great one.